Saturdays are tough when we've got stuff we have to do. The horse being wounded and church at 4. We go to vigil, 4 o'clock vigil mass here. Used to be 5, now it's 4 because some of the older people would rather try to drive home in the, when it's still daylight, in the late fall and in winter and early spring. So anyway, today, going live. Now, I just watched Mr. H Reviews, Clownfish TV, and I gotta say, oh, and before I go anywhere else, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you want to share this out, that would be a real help here on the channel. I need 100 more subscribers to get to 2,000. And hit the like button, please, and because that helps the algorithm. Anyway, so the guys were talking about, I think The Guardian attacked it, and I think Vulture attacked it, and I know that Scotty Mendelson, crapped himself all over the place because it basically erases 2016. Yeah, it does. I mean, from what everybody I've heard, because we don't have any spoilers yet, but from what people who've seen it that I trust have said, 2016 is gone. It's over. It was its own little pocket universe. And it sucked. It failed. It failed. Okay. So, we've got that as the yardstick, and Afterlife basically erases it. And here's the thing. I just got done straightening out a year's worth of stuff, removing stuff out of the pantry. Anyway, it's funny the crap you keep, then you forget about it. Anyway, this is a big deal, okay? And what's really funny is that I think the movie is still at 86% rated fresh by the critics. We have about a month to go till we get to see it. So the people that are screaming are in the very, very minuscule minority. And the reason why is because they want 2016 to be validated, and it's not going to be. Now, what does this have to do with everything else? First off, is a little girl in the lead, but it's not woke. You can do that. The problem with 2016 is that it was female-centric. Let me tell you guys something. Women, you're really not that funny. Hi, Mad Piranha. You're not funny. Women aren't funny at all. Okay? And there are great female comedians. Ruth Buzzy, Carol Burnett, Phyllis Diller. Notice I'm not saying anybody recent. Okay? And the reason why is because the recent female comedians, except for Chrissy Mayer, I think she's funny, aren't funny. Who's that short, that teeny tiny African-American woman who goes up there and all she does is scream? I can't remember what her name is. Whoopi Goldberg used to be funny. She's not. Hey, Clobbering Times. Hi, Mike. She used to be funny. She's not. Melissa McCarthy isn't funny. Was it? The rest of those girls aren't funny. The Wig, that's her last name. She was in Wonder Woman 1984. I think she played Cheetah. Didn't she? She's not funny. I mean, all right. The movie wasn't funny. The movie wasn't good. It failed. Ivan Reitman was an executive producer. Hey, Cinedave. But that also says that an executive producer doesn't have anything to do with the story or creative input. Okay. Paul Feig is losing his Feig or whatever the fuck his name is losing his mind. Melissa McCarthy, Leslie Jones, that's her name. The one that got in a fight with Milo Yiannopoulos and got him suspended off of Twitter forever because she's a fucking bitch. You know, and you know, women like her are, they're not only ugly on the outside, they're ugly on the inside. You know, and, you know, Leslie Jones doesn't have to be the bitch that she is, but she is. Yeah, she's not funny. I mean, let's go back. The Saturday Night Live, I think it was their cold opening, when they were doing a skit about The Force Awakens before it came out. And all the guys were pretending to be Han as an elderly guy, and Leia elderly, and Luke elderly. And I think James Franco played Luke, and it was actually funny. But they had to stick Lando in there because you need the token black guy. And that skit wasn't funny. She wasn't funny, okay? The rest of it was hysterical. I mean, Leia's trying to reprogram R2-D2, and all of a sudden he just starts blinking, and she just walks away. Like a microwave that won't be fixed. I mean, that used to be on YouTube, and it's not. Yeah, Gilda Radner was funny. I mean, Gilda Radner, Madeline Kahn, Lucille Ball, you know, yeah, there were some other ones too that used to go on Dean Martin show a lot, and they were hilarious. That older lady that used to give him so much shit, oh my God, she was great. I watch those shows. They're on YouTube. His TV shows on YouTube, and the Christmas specials and all the rest of them, and they're freaking funny. Yeah, not Ruth Buzzy. It was a I mentioned her, somebody else, and she was a real cute little old lady. I can't remember her name, but God, she was funny. You know, Gracie Allen. You know, these women nowadays aren't funny. They just scream. You know, they take themselves too seriously because they're women. I don't know. Anyway, that movie failed. Ivan Reitman saw how bad it was. His son kept having an idea he wanted to do a movie about a little girl finding a proton pack, and they developed the story with his buddy, whose name I can't remember, and they got the real Ghostbusters, the guys, you know, Aykroyd and Murray. Thank God, I love Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson. You know, they got them to come back, and it's all connected to them, to Egon. This is how you do a soft handoff, okay? And it erases yeah, I think you're right, and I'm getting to that point because Mays, as usual, because he's my friend, read my mind. It's a soft handoff to the next generation, and the people who liked it said exactly what we want. Now, it's probably what they should have done with Star Wars, okay? Instead, we get Han and Luke looking like assholes and, you know, butchered like dogs on a catwalk or humiliated and then disappeared. And the people, you know, at least TLJ, they thought it was funny. They think that's funny. What we are seeing, if it erases 2016 and the people who are hysterical about it say it does, get ready. Get ready. Grab onto your seats. Because if it's true that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are right now working to erase. Yeah, you're right, Mace. Are working to erase the entire sequel trilogy. If that is true, the same people are going to rant and rave. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. Kennedy won't give a shit. All right. Her legacy is not Star Wars. It's going to be Indiana Jones, because really that was where she got her production start. Okay. And as far as Doomcock's rumors, I agree with Cameron. It's too stupid to be real. No. And I'm going to tell you guys this. James Mangold has no reason to lie. And I don't blame him for being fucking pissed off at us. Okay? I get it. I get it. Okay? I get seeing Kennedy's name on as producer would pisses me off. But, we knew that it was going to happen, so why are you mad? Phoebe Waller-Bridge. You see pictures of her. Obviously, they parachuted into somewhere because that's a parachute harness he's wearing. And he had to hold on to her, and she had to hold on to him when they were coming down. And let me tell you, that was a tough landing. Okay, so the fact that he's out cold is not a big deal to me. So why the fuck is it a big deal to you guys? Okay. But back to what I was talking about. Ghostbusters 3 is going to allow the retcon of the sequel trilogy, because I have a feeling that movie is going to make a shit ton of money. Way more money than even Dune made, because Dune is a niche. And the people who are going to go see Ghostbusters that are casuals, they know Ghostbusters. They don't know Dune. Okay. They're going to go see Ghostbusters. And the fans like me are going to go see it, maybe several times. Yeah, and you're right, Maze. You're right. And I know, I got to stop. Right here. Not going anywhere. Oh, no weird. By the way, I talked to Mike, the Mexican Iron Man. I'm going to talk to him again tonight. And kind of figured out. Oh, do you see him? Do you see him? Is he right there? Kojak. Here. Isn't he cute? He's beautiful. Anyway, I talked to Mike, and we kind of put two and two together about what that was. No, he won't. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. If Harrison Ford was really done with Star Wars, he never would have showed up for the 40th anniversary of it. Okay? And I think a lot of it had to do with Carrie passing away. But I also think, and if I could find the article, Larry Kasdan, my least favorite person, basically stated that while they were filming The Force Awakens, Harrison was very vocal about his regrets about not being in the next one. Okay. I don't believe in the slightest that he hates Han Solo or really liked the way it happened. Okay? To sell the movie, you're going to do whatever you have to. But he shows up to the 40th anniversary, okay? Expressed regret to the guy who oversaw writing that shitty movie that he really wishes he hadn't left. Would have definitely thrown a chink in Rian Johnson's plans. There wouldn't have been an Admiral Holdo, okay? And Johnson treating Mark Hamill like shit and getting away with it would not have happened. Harrison would have said, no. He'd have been pissed off. And if he says the sky's blue, everybody goes, yes, sir, the sky's blue, because he's the star. And they're paying buku bucks. And he can get things that he wants right away. Like, this director's being a shit. He's treating Mark like crap. The script is terrible. it either gets reworked or we walk. And it would have been Mark, Carrie, and him all together. Okay, that, because I can see that coming. Mark is kind of like a cheap version of George Takei. He'll sit there and scream and rant and rave on Twitter and Instagram. But face to face, he won't stick up for himself. He won't. He'll call Bob Iger, and Iger won't do anything. Yeah. And Matt, that's what I'm getting to. Is Ghostbusters 2016 is being erased. It's gone. It's over. And oh yeah, I mean, it's interesting to me. Has Ford ever been on Howard Stern? Did Carrie ever go on there? I don't think either of them ever went on that show. I could see Harrison going on the Joe Rogan show. I could definitely, see Carrie doing that. But, just a minute, well, okay, it's working. You got the generator to work. Okay, it's working. We bought... He was? I mean, see, Howard Stern is such an asshole. He goes on a rampage about Joe Rogan, and it's like, well, dude, your shtick is old. And Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan is intellectually curious, and he's interested in everything. Science, religion, politics, you name it. And it's a far more interesting show than talking about sexual issues and sex capades, which is all Stern wants to talk about. And then if you disagree with Howard, he shits on you. Okay? Anyway, yeah, I'm really thinking that this movie is going to be the gateway to fixing a lot of shit that's broken. And I'm not just talking, not just Star Wars either. I'm thinking that Alex Kurtzman is not looking too good when it comes to what he's done with Star Trek. And I could see all that shit being, it didn't happen. Now, here's the deal. If you liked 2016, you still have it. It's in its own little pocket universe. You can go and beat off to it anytime you want. Just same way with the sequel trilogy. In fact, I was talking to, a movie reviewer on Instagram, and he basically asked me why I couldn't stand Adam Driver, and I said, the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I can't fucking stand looking at him. And he said, well, don't worry, if he makes you sick, he's a real asshole in this movie. It's about knights, and he plays a dick, and what else is new? He kind of comes off a dick in real life. Him and his, you ever wonder why he's always got his hair cut long? Hi, John. It's because his ears stick out like fucking Dumbo, okay? That's why. I mean, they're low set and they come out like he could flap away with them. It's like, whoa, dude. Oh, it's going good. So yeah, I do believe that Ghostbusters Afterlife is going to break SJWs. And they're going to have to, but they'll still have their crap. They can watch it. Okay, they can do their own little websites and little forums on Facebook and Insta and post pictures of, Ray Blow and all the rest of that shit and pretend it's, they go in their own little fucking fantasy world. Meanwhile, the rest of us just watch Star Wars grow. I am going to see Dune, even though it's not my cuppa. What do you, oh, you got your toy? He found a Christmas toy that the gay couple across the street gave to him. When I was cleaning out the pantry, which was just, it came out, I washed it off and I gave it to him and now he won't give it back. Anyway, typical shepherd. But yeah, this is going to be great. And we've got, apparently the IATSE strike isn't going to happen. They came up with an agreement, which is good for them because I think they got almost everything they wanted, which is excellent. In the shows we want to see, Mandalorian and everything else that's coming up, you know, can go on. So this is going to be, this is going to be something. Okay. What else is new? Nothing really. You know, it just, the reviews, like from The Guardian and Mr. H, I was laughing so hard at the way he was just reading it because these SJWs are hysterical. And I'm not talking hysterically, oh, funny, I'm talking fucking crazy, okay? Scott Mendelson, crazy, okay? The one from Vulture, Cuckoo Familias, okay, just fucking nuts. I don't know why they think they need to do this. Because now I think virtue signaling stands, hell, not Brian Young. I think a lot of people don't care anymore. All right? They don't. It's really, really kind of interesting to me watching this go and seeing the fact that people don't care anymore. They really, really don't. So anyway, I'm only going to be on for like a few more minutes. Maybe I'll go on later. Anyway, yeah, so I kind of figured out what it was that happened the other night. And it was a hack. There's a way for people to get in through, I guess, Hangouts still, or whatever, and get on your stream. I changed my email or my passwords, and yeah, I'm not gonna say what the deal is, but I am gonna say it's not what I thought it was. There's an indication later that night that after I got done talking with certain people, yeah, they do. I mean, let me finish my my thought here. That it's something way different, and it's going to. Here's the deal: it will go away eventually, because there's going to be people who are sick and tired of it, and it will, because I'm not the only one. All right, but again. What's weird is I had that hack and someone actually calling me while I was streaming saying disgusting things. It happened about a year ago, January. And it freaked me out. No, you can't have that. Go get your toy. Go on. Happened about a year ago, January. And I don't think that had anything to do with this, because a year ago, January, it was a lot different. It was a lot different, okay? Then my YouTube life was different. So I think that was probably Junkman or, somebody else. But this was not, okay? Anyway, do I think SJWs are mentally ill? Yeah, I do. You know, we have a generation, younger millennials, who have never gone outside to play. They don't know how to read facial expressions because they're on the internet all the time. They don't know how to deal with a disagreement, hence safe spaces and people with normal ideas getting kicked off of Twitter and thrown into Facebook jail for daring to be pissed off and to say, no, shithead, you're wrong. They can't deal with people being pissed off enough to call them out. Okay? That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. Hi, buddy. How you doing? He's got his toy, and I've got it now. It's a toy. See, this is the toy. It's a tug. I'll probably have to take it away from him because he wants to chew it apart. Yeah, so I do think but they're not born that way. They're the way they've grown up, the way they've never went outside to play. They never had to deal with bullies face to face. When you've got everybody, even in school, connected by the internet, and you've got little kids being bullied online by people in their class, they don't know how to deal with shit. And if they get punched in the face online because of something they said, they can't deal with it. Okay. When you grow up, everyone's going to run into a bully when they're kids. And despite hating the bully's guts, to this day, that person taught you a valuable lesson. Fucking stick up for yourself, okay? They don't know how to do it without calling mommy or, Mark Zuckerberg or that weirdo Fruit Loop, Jack Dorsey. They don't know how to, and when you've got people that are older, like Pablo Hidalgo, Brian Young, etc., who know better, okay, they don't want another opinion out there. And the reason why is because they're afraid of it. Okay, when you see Jason Ward saying, oh no, the sequel trilogy is not being erased, to her, he's afraid it's going to be. He has invested his entire career, whatever the fuck that is, on the sequel trilogy. All right? He had to have shit his pants seeing Luke show up. Molly and Alex Damon from Star Wars Explained shit their pants seeing Luke show up, and they were pissed. The reason why is because they put all their eggs in the bullshit basket. The SJW bullshit basket. Okay, and I'm going to say this. They're not fans of Star Wars. They're fans of the message, and they're fans of virtue signaling. And they thought, especially Molly, because I guarantee you she was not a Star Wars fan until she met Alex. Okay. Brian Young can sit there and I don't know how long he's been writing for Star Wars Insider, even if he is anymore. But, that guy's not a fan. How could you like The Force Awakens? How could you honestly think it's a good movie? How could you sit there and stare at yourself in the mirror to this day and say you like TLJ or Solo? I mean, and no one liked The Rise of Douchebag. No one liked that. No one. You're right. They're activists first. And they always have been. Okay? That's how different their college experiences were from mine. Okay? Because I had no fucks to give. When I was in college, I got sick. This happened. I was gone for a year and a half. And by the time I got back, I was almost 21. So all those kids I was going to school with And there were a couple of classes that I still needed to pick up basic, like in non-Western history, and there were freshmen and sophomores in there that were way younger than me. And the professor's trying to poison their minds with bullshit. And I would call the professor out. Older, wiser, been through a lot of crap. Okay? A lot. Can tell when I'm being, when that red-haired harpy, Deborah Bufton, was sitting there trying to manipulate people into thinking this left-wing pile of garbage that she was talking about was real, was true. And I let her have it. And I had no fucks to give. I had, my faculty advisor was great. Total hippie. Total frickin'. But he and I got along, and I think he couldn't understand why I didn't care about personal behavior. That is your responsibility, not mine. All right? Like, he would smoke, and I'm like, I don't care. Smoke away in your office while you're talking to me. I don't care. Doesn't bother me at all. Because that's that independent libertarian streak, respecting an adult male human being to be able to make their own fucking decisions for themselves. Okay? People like these SJWs, and this shit started when I was still in college. And I didn't graduate till 96. So I saw it coming. I mean, my niece, I was out, it was my birthday, I was 30 years old. And this is after I graduated. And I'm standing there on the deck, and I spent a lot of money on this cigar. And I'm out there, I cut it, I lit it up, I'm smoking it, drinking a beer, and talking with, I don't know, a friend of mine. We were all gonna go out to celebrate and have dinner and then just go out and get completely intoxicated. And she's like, you shouldn't be smoking, and starts lecturing me. She's like 8. And I looked at her and I said, hey, Planet Musk. I was like, how old are you? Go and mind your own business, okay? I do not smoke all the time. I can't. But you don't have any right to come out here and tell me, your aunt, I can't do this, okay? It's not hurting you. I am outside. So go mind your own business. And her mom didn't know what to say. I mean, my sister Chris was like, I gotta grab the dog remote. Leave Daddy alone. Come here. Anyway. But that stuff started back in the 90s, the mid-90s. But it was started even before. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you something. Professors, long before I was, in college, were doing this shit. I mean, the shit that went down in the 60s with the protests against the war and everything, the kids just didn't come up with that on their own. They got that from the freaking idiot professors, okay? There's a reason why Obama mentioned Marxist professors. And it's been so inundated. Would I say this started after the what? It kind of did, but you got to remember there are always hardcore left-leaners in the academic establishment. I mean, that Deborah Bufton was there. There were others. There was a doc named Ben Bernadovich, who was a really good English professor. He used to go to the same bar my dad went to. Now, this guy's a PhD in literature. My dad didn't graduate high school. My dad would kick his ass 6 ways to sundown in a debate. Okay. You don't need a PhD to be wise and to know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay. Gotta remember, most of these people don't live in the real world. They really, really, really don't. Okay. They don't, I mean, my dad went through the Depression. He fought in World War II. You know, when he got back, you know, it was a struggle. You know, got a job. You know, the kids were, you know, my brothers and sisters started to appear. Hard to keep food on the table. All right? Hard to, you know, house payments, you know, buying a car. He only had a new car once. And it was stolen right out from the front of our house the day he bought it. And the kids who stole it trashed it, totaled it. So he never really had a new car. Okay. And you've got Mr. Doctor of, you know, literature, you know, lecturing him on economics. Okay. You know, it's like, you need to be quiet now, okay? Because you really don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know, but that's just, I mean, and I would sit there and Bernard, and I took the history of film and lit from him. And he would sit there and laugh, but I could see it just pissed him off because my dad would get him all the time. I'm like, you know, it's real life versus bullshit, and there you go. So anyway, I am gonna go and take care of my horse. So I'm gonna go and do that. We bought her a new bag of cookies, and I'll talk to y'all later. You know, there shouldn't. I mean, Doomcock's got Pop Culture Breakdown tonight at 8 EST, Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be in the chat at least for a little while. You guys have a great afternoon. Have a great evening. I'll see you around the galaxy.